Hi guys, Paul here from DC Health Performance. Today I'm going to be going through the first of our weekly seminars, what to expect from your training and nutrition program. We want to go through this because we want you to have clear expectations of what you're going to get out of it when you come to see us at DC Health, and just get any questions out of the way so it's a smooth ride for you all. So let's get into it. So when you start a new training and nutrition plan, there's a lot of expectations that you're going to get, and there's a lot of media pressure, there's a lot of information out there that, quite frankly, it's wrong, and it's going to set you up for failure. We need to understand what's really going to happen to us and what really is possible, so we don't set ourselves up for failure or beat ourselves up for not achieving that unrealistic expectation. We want to set goals that we are able to achieve. So let's address the first thing that happens to everyone, which is fat loss fluctuations. We need to remember that fat loss is not a linear process. The body's much more complicated than the simple calories in versus calories out model in a lot of situations. And there's a lot of reasons why counting calories can be fraught with error. However, we can use it as a very useful tool, and we can adjust from there. One thing to remember, if we change your diet and you go into a lower carbohydrate diet, initial weight loss can be purely because of a drop in carbs. This is because every 1 gram of carbohydrates you eat holds 3 grams of water. So if you drop 500 grams of carbs, you're going to look to drop about 2 kilos of weight over the course of a week. So keep in mind that sudden drops are more than likely water weight. And if your weight loss stalls, it can often be fat cells filling with water. Stress and poor quality sleep are the main things that exacerbate that. So if you're struggling to lose fat and you diet at some point and you're training hard, look at your stress and your poor sleep. Fix that and I guarantee you'll be on your way. Now, next thing to address is why slower progress is better. Ideally, you want to progress as slow as possible. I know that's not what everyone wants to hear, but the slower you progress, the better your results will be in the long term. When you progress slower, a smaller deficit in your calories will allow for the possibility of muscle gain. We want to gain muscle, so we elevate our metabolic rates and we also look better. Smaller deficits are also going to make diet control easier and reduce our rebound risk. If we cut our calories too drastically, we are going to have massive cravings. We can't work around this in any other way. Willpower will not work. It'll only work for so long. So if we do a smaller deficit, we can maintain a higher level of willpower and stay on track and have more consistency. We also won't have any skin elasticity issues. If you lose weight too fast, particularly you have a lot of weight to lose, your skin will be loose, and getting rid of that is basically going to be a surgical option. And there are also potential health risks with fast cuts: kidney damage, liver problems, cholesterol problems, a whole bunch of other ones. Generally, we're not going to give you any plans that will have that happen. Now, how do you know that your calories have gone too low? So basically, you're eating your diet plan and you might be cutting a bit of food every now and then because you want to get faster results. Here are some indicators that you've gone too low and now you're starting to damage yourself. Poor performance in the gym. Your weights will go down or you'll tire out faster. You won't be able to do as much. That's a very good indicator that your calories are too low. No sex drive. Cold temperature is another one. If you're constantly cold, particularly in summer, it's a sign that your calories have been too low for too long. And an inability to fall asleep or poor quality sleep. These are all signs of having calories too low for too long. The remedy? Eat some more. Now, here's some fat loss guidelines with minimal muscle loss. So if you have a look here, you can work out from where you're at from your initial body fat consultation, or where you are now, how much you can lose per week. As you get reassessed, you can then recheck your timeline and see how long it's going to take you to hit your goal. So let's say you're 30% body weight and over, you can lose 0.9 to 1.1 kilograms of fat per week. Now, as you get lower, this progress will slow down. So with your coach, you can go through and work this out nearly to the week, how long it's going to take for you to achieve your goal, which is pretty cool stuff. Now, what to expect from when you get measured. So this one applies to tape measures. Our general limb measurements are expected to increase in the first few weeks due to cellular damage. Basically, if you're exercising, particularly for the first time, you are causing extensive amounts of muscle damage that your body's just not used to. So your body will hold on to water there as part of the inflammatory process. This will disappear after a few weeks. If there's an unusual jump, so you put on a serious amount of weight or a serious increase in a particular skin fold site when we measure it with the ultrasound, it's more than likely that we've stuffed up. We've made an error, so we will fix that up for you. That's not a problem. And it's also normal for the stomach to be slower than the others. A lot of people will come in and they'll have lost 3 kilos, they'll have measurements go down at every site except their stomach, and they'll feel like they failed. You absolutely have not. It's just that the stomach takes a little bit longer to lose fat than every other area of the body. If you've lost weight and the other skin folds have gone down, you're doing awesome. So always keep that in the back of your mind. Now, with all these points here with the measurements, females just add 7% to these numbers. For the stomach measurement, in the 10 to 20 or the 17 to 27% body fat range, fat loss will generally happen on the upper abs first, and it's going to work its way down. If you want to lose fat from lower, and this is basically below the belly button and onto the butt and the legs, you'll generally need to get a little bit leaner. At 10 or 17% body fat, you're going to see minimal change in the mid and upper stomach, and this is basically because you've got no fat to lose there. The lower stomach measurements and waist will start to drop down a lot quicker, as it'll be the fat coming off the lower abs and the back. And from 8%, you're not going to get too much more visual change because there's not much fat to lose. And when you're above 20% for males or 27% for females, there is no discernible pattern. Its fat is coming off everywhere, which is a good thing. As you get lower, you'll start seeing these patterns happen. Now, diet break guidelines. Diet breaks are a really interesting concept because, let's be honest, who wants to be on a calorie-restricted diet plan for a very long period of time? No one. And also, it's damaging for you. You want to have a diet break every so often to make sure that your metabolism stays healthy and also your psychology stays healthy. So what we got here are the certain amounts that everyone should be doing to have a diet break. So guys, just subtract 7% for this. So when you're quite lean, 10% or below or 17% or below, every 4 to 6 weeks, you should have a 2-week diet break. We have an article on the website addressing diet breaks, so check that out to figure out how to actually do it. 17 to 22 or 10 to 17%, every 6 to 8 weeks, every 10 to 12 weeks, and every 12 to 16 weeks. Basically, you can figure this out for yourself from where you're at now, how long you'll have to be on your diet until you change it up. And now the last thing that we'll go through is the maintainable body fat that someone can naturally achieve. And this is year-round. An average man can achieve between 7 to 12% year-round body fat depending on age and also consistency of training, and a female can do 14 to 19%. To maintain this, you need to eat well about 70 to 80% of the time. You need to get down there and stay there for a little bit, and you need to train a minimum of 3 to 4 times a week. So guys, that's what you can expect from any kind of nutrition and diet plan. Any questions, post them below the video, and we'll be posting the next seminar video up very, very shortly. I'll see you all.